Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Eddie, spicy weigh-in. It's been turned up now. What happened on stage? Because Lara looked like he weren't happy with something. Was he unhappy with the weight? Was he unhappy with that he didn't get to see it? What was his team unhappy at?
It wasn't Lara, it was just one of his trainers. They're all good guys. He saw the weight. The weight was actually in kilos. And it was 57.05 kilo. Yeah. And basically the same as what Lara weighed. But they all looked at the scales, and then when Leigh Wood got off, he grabbed him and said, "Get back on." And I said, "Get your hands off him, don't touch a fire." And then he spoke to the commissioner, who said that was the weight. So he was fine. But yeah, both guys bang on, ready to fight.
What do you make of how they looked on the scale? Sometimes you can tell a lot about their appearance.
I thought Lara looked good.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes he always looks drawn at the weight. He's eating a pizza down there now in front of us. And I thought Leigh Wood looked really good as well. Like Leigh Wood, you could see it in his face, wasn't overly drawn. Sometimes, you know, fighters struggle a bit at weights.
It's
carrying the pig for an hour and a half.
Yeah, David took the
what a great thumbnail.
Which I love pizza and it's cold. Sometimes a fighter will struggle a bit at weight when it's not a big fight or they're not that motivated. I think Mauricio Lara knows what kind of fight this is. Yeah. He knows what kind of opportunity this is. So both guys would have done the weight bang on.
What do you make of his sort of demeanour coming into this, Lara? Lara's sort of coming into this as, you know, he owns the show, like he's swaggering around here, he's just opened his pizza box on stage. He's sort of walking in here like he's the man. Is that a sign of just a dangerous fighter?
He thinks he's the uncrowned champion because he beat Josh Warrington, and Josh Warrington vacated the title.
Yeah.
So in his mind, he should be world champion already. It's taken him a long time to get the opportunity after that. Obviously, the rematch with Josh Warrington at Headingley. He then fought in San Diego. Yeah. He then fought in Mexico City. And now the opportunity's presented itself. He probably can't believe the opportunity's come. Because it was going to take someone to give him a voluntary defence, which was madness. But Leigh Wood's the guy who's done it.
Where would this rank in the history of victories if Leigh Wood manages to beat Mauricio Lara? Because, like you said, nobody's asking to fight him for a voluntary.
It's not just a victory, it's a run. You know, it's from being more or less not out of the sport, but looking for an opportunity, winning the British title, beating Kanzu as an underdog, beating Conlon as an underdog, and beating Lara as an underdog. I really feel this is a 50-50 fight, you know. I think there are still some unknowns about Mauricio Lara. But like you say, he's got that confidence now and that swag, and when he bowled into the bubble and beat Josh Warrington, I don't even think he really knew what he was doing. Yeah. Now he believes in himself as a fighter, and that does make him dangerous.
Not just that as well, he seems to have had a bit of beef with Josh Warrington as well. Every time I speak to Josh, he goes, I don't know what his problem is. He thinks I call his dad a F, Y and Z back in the bank.
Sure, Josh will be there on Saturday. He'll be calling out the winner. And, you know, Lara wants a third fight with Warrington. But we'll see what happens.
There is a rematch clause you mentioned yesterday. So obviously if Lara wins, would it be a case of it's up to Leigh to either let that fight happen, then Leigh gets a rematch with whoever wins? Or,
you know, Leigh would have the option to do the rematch straight away. He could fight the winner of Lara against Warrington. Yeah. That's really not on his mind. Yeah. You know, that's something as a world champion, giving someone a shot at the world title. It comes with it. And some people moan at rematch clauses. Honestly, like, if you can't think of the logic, you want to give this guy.
I understand this one more than
most. But also don't forget, any fighter that is fighting a champion and not as a mandatory and getting a free shot, you know, like, and he deserves his shot. There's no doubt about it. But Leigh Wood's still giving him the chance. So what he's saying is, I'll give you the chance, and if you beat me, you got to give me the chance. That's really what a rematch clause is. Yeah. And some people moan about it, but let's just think logically for a second. Like, it's pretty fair, really. And by the way, if Mauricio Lara knocks out Leigh Wood, he'll be more than happy to do the rematch because he'll think he'll win again. And if it's an unbelievable fight, which it will be, the rematch is massive as well. So I don't think in that instance, sometimes you get a rematch clause that after the effect, you go, do we need to see it? Liam Smith against Eubank, great thing. And if someone wins, you know, if Lara won in the first round by knockout, do you need to see the rematch? Who knows? But it comes with being a champion and providing someone with an opportunity.
I know your nerves sort of get amped up the closer we get to fight now, but what's your heart saying happens in this fight?
I thought Leigh Wood I thought they actually both looked really good. I thought Lara didn't look that tight, and normally he really does, and you can see, like, he was fired up, but he was calm, and Leigh Wood was super calm, super chilled, looked in tremendous shape. I don't know, honestly. Leigh Wood could school him in there.
What, you thinking a Leigh Wood points victory?
But he could school him and stop him. And Mauricio Lara could win this fight in the first round. Like, literally. It's just, both guys have the power to end this fight at any time. And but it's going to be an electric pace. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. And just don't miss it.
I'm going to ask you quickly about Gary Cully on the card. Spoke to Maxi Hughes. Maxi Hughes alluded to that's a potential fight for him, but in terms of the big fights he thought he was getting with Linares and Garcia, I spoke to Gary and he's like, I kind of get where he's coming from. It's a huge risk. But where are we at with that and Gary Cully? And
we've made an offer to Maxi Hughes for the fight, and everything you just said there is 100% correct. We've been trying for a long time, and we've continuously got Maxi out. We've paid him very well, and he's done everything that's been asked of him. And I've been trying to find him that golden ticket, which we haven't been able to deliver. You know, we approached Ryan Garcia, and we were quite close to negotiating that fight. He went elsewhere. Yep. I spoke to Top Rank, or the team did, about Shakur Stevenson when he was looking at opponent. Yep. You know, Maxi Hughes is ranked, and unfortunately, no takers for the big money fight. So we have to keep going, and an offer has been made to him, a strong offer to fight Gary Cully. I think Maxi has to make a decision and say, do I wait for the right opportunity, and it might take a month or 2 months or 3 months longer, but I've been waiting since September, or do I jump in and fight Gary Cully? The money's great. Can I beat him? It is in Ireland, but it's our job to provide options. Yeah. And right now, that's the best option for Maxi. Now, next week, it might not be the best option. But Maxi will have to make the call to say, no, I'll pass on that fight. I'll see what presents itself. And it is a good fight. It is a lot of money. But I understand, and I think he's deserved the right to have a bigger fight. And Gary Cully's a great fighter, but Gary Cully's not Ryan Garcia or Shakur Stevenson or those guys. But when you look at that lightweight division, it's difficult to manoeuvre that kind of fight.
Looking at the size of him as well, he's going to have to go through the weights, isn't he, at some point? I don't know how he makes that weight, Gary Cully.
I mean, he looked good there, and I think he was at 134 pounds. So, but that's one of, making a lower weight is a massive benefit if you can do it properly, if you can be strong. And if he can stay at 135 and be strong and not let it deplete him, it's going to be a big asset.
Finally, just before we go, you're doing this 5k run again. I did it last time in Cardiff, and I think it's the last time I worked out quite clearly. I ain't got the stuff from it. I'm not doing it. No. It's not going to happen.
That's terrible.
No, but I just know it's not going to happen.
I think it's a great thing, really. I think we've got to promote fitness, and if you're in Nottingham, 10 o'clock tomorrow, is it Runners World or something? On our social, we're going around the city for a little 5k, gear us up for a massive night tomorrow on DAZN.
Absolutely. Cheers, appreciate it.